Hey, what's going on? Welcome to Atrocious Gameplay. We got an interesting video because we usually don't cover this format, but especially because I've been grinding out standard, I thought, you know what? Let's do a quick deck profile over in Expanded. A lot of people probably already finished with their tournament keys for the second Players Cup, and you might just want kind of a refresher to stay playing the game and, you know, just have a little bit of something different if you want to continue to play every day. So we're going to go over Bui and Stephane Ivanoff's Dragapult GarboPult deck that has kind of been running around in a couple online expanded events. They've done really well as of late, and it's a very interesting deck because Dragapult kind of written off of standard immediately with the release of Darkness Ablaze, and then with a deck such as Turbo Dark, you would think that maybe, I don't know if Dragapult is something that could be viable or could be played a lot. So we'll see what it does with a bunch of different other matchups as well. But first, before we go into it, remember that we do have a giveaway going on right now. It's ending on Saturday. So by the time Saturday's video releases at 3 p.m. Eastern time, this giveaway right here will have ended. It is Champions Path codes. I'm giving 30 to 2 people. 30 Champions Path codes courtesy of Leggy, one of the members of our community you may have heard, and the link to enter here is going to be in the description below. Yeah, it doesn't require any money or anything like that to enter. Just like follow me on Twitch, sub on YouTube, follow on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all that. You don't have to do all of these. You can do just follow me on Twitch if you want. That's all you have to do. You don't even have to sub on YouTube, even if you're watching this on YouTube. You don't have to sub if you don't want to. And then obviously, with referring more friends, you know, you get more entries, you get a daily bonus, you get more entries for doing more entries, I guess you could say. So a lot of different things. Again, this will have concluded by the time that Saturday's video comes up. I believe it's like around, it's like right before, yeah, it's a little after 1 a.m. on October 24th. So make sure if you want to get into that, go and get into that. But first, all right, so again, the function of this deck is to use Dragapult, spread some damage, and then also you have a secondary attacker in the Trashulance GarboPult. A lot of people that have played the game for a while and have even done a lot of expanded probably know this card and how powerful Trashulance is, especially in this format with like Versus Seeker and stuff running around, you know, maybe not playing as many supporters and whatnot. So very interesting deck. Let's see how it can do. All right, first game, let's see how this goes. This could be an ADP deck, I'm not sure. I have played several games with this deck already. I think I want to go first. I have played several games with this deck already, because I just wanted practice with the deck. GarboPult start, maybe we could do Oricorio. Trying to think what would be better. I almost want this Trebuch on the bench, but we'll just put up Oricorio first. I don't think it could do too much harm personally, but we'll just keep that right there. So it does look like it's going to be a type of ADP deck, but no Dragapult to start out, no even ball options to go find like a Crobat or Dedenne or even a Dragapult for that matter. So I'm wondering if Supernatural Dance is something that I'm going to do, and you know what, I might as well attach in my personal opinion, because especially if this is ADP, they're not going to be doing any damage. They're going to alter creation turn 1 by attaching the double dragon energy onto the ADP, so we'll see how this goes. This is a pretty much the same list as I believe Stephane did in the last Atlas mini of Expanded. I think the only difference there is that I took out one more Sycamore because it was playing a playset of Sycamores, and instead I put in a another energy, because with like Tapu Lele and stuff, and just playing 3 already and a bunch of other supporters such as like N and having Versus Seeker, you know, the deck does pretty well drawing in my opinion, and I felt that sometimes maybe I would draw too much and I would get way too aggressive with the energy discards. So for me personally, I just felt like it was better to add another energy in there so then I can be a little bit reckless, but it looks like they're going to get the turn 1 altar creation if they can retreat. There's things like Floatstone in this format, but it looks like they're just going to Intrepid Sword, so that's actually really, really good for us. There's no Pokemon in their discard pile, and there is a stadium right here, actually. So that's actually pretty interesting. We can do 30 damage to it. 40 if we want to use... Let's see, what's the math on this? 30... so that'll be 190. 40 would be 180. I don't think there really is math on this. Maybe there is, actually. And I'm just not thinking about it enough. But I'm actually going to attach this muscle band right here, because then it puts it at 180, and then like I could hit into it with Dragapult, put it at 50, and then I can use the Max Phantasm damage counters to put more damage onto the bench and put 5 right onto this Zacian. So it could end up working out. Now let's see. We don't need to Mysterious Treasure, honestly, but I think we will anyways, to go ahead and get another Trubbish out. I think Tool Drop. No, I think we want Acid Spray. Oh, also a change that I have with this deck personally is, or comparison to the others, is I have a couple different Trubbish, but that's only because I don't have a ton of the same Trubbish, so I had to use a couple different ones that other people weren't using. Now this did... It's 20 more damage. Okay, so that's even more interesting math. So that helps us out a bit, I guess. I thought it was like a vitality band. That's the thing with the expanded, is there's such a bigger card pool that, especially for someone like me that hasn't played in a ton of stuff. I've definitely played my fair share of expanded, but I haven't been in the game for years and years and years. So very interesting. They did heal that off because of the Scoop Up Cyclone, so that damage was somewhat irrelevant, but it did force them to use the Scoop Up Cyclone, you know, maybe not using it for like a Dedenne or something like that. They grab the double dragon energy. They have the Floatstone right here, so then they can retreat the Zacians very easily between the Brave Blades. Typical. I'm really curious if they're going to knock out right here, though. I'd be really curious about that. But especially with the vitality, or I'm sorry, the muscle band. The muscle band works really, really well against ADP because you can do 150 damage to the active Pokemon instead of 130. So something... I'm sorry, yeah, burp. Something very, very interesting to note as you play these games. And I'm thinking about what I want to do. I think I want to lay down the Trubbish and then Sycamore. I think that might be what I want to do. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do that at this point, because I want to start using these guys for Trash Lance. I guess I could have thinned a little bit with that right there, but I guess also never punished. But we're not going to be able to get the one... What's the amount of damage? The Thingamadoodah. But if we find the Muscle Band next turn, which we might be able to with the Lele, because I feel like they're going to Guzma, we can Lele for like a Sycamore or an N or something like that, and be able to get a bunch of the extra 2 damage counters to be able to take a knockout here. So that's very interesting in itself. So we're going to try our best. Although the Brave Blade could be a little sketch, but we're going to put the 3 right there, because in Standard, at least, you want to put the 3 damage counters on this Dedenne. Not sure if that's the case still, though. One could argue if we're going for the Muscle Band, you could have just placed 1 here. But with Field Blower being a card, I don't really want to depend on that, because I think we have 1 more Muscle Band in the deck. I believe it plays a 4-2 Floatstone Muscle Band line. Floatstone mainly because, you know, there's a lot of things you want to get out of the active, and then Garbodor is something that needs that. So this will be interesting. We got to remember, before we attach the Floatstone here, we got to use Lele before we do that. I don't know how many times I've accidentally done that. So here we go. Not looking super great for us, to be honest. So here we go. Dragapult up here. I almost don't want to use Lele, because Lele is like that liability, right? You just Lysander or you boss and you just win. So This is tough. This is very, very tough. All right, another float stone right there. We could just go and attach to Lele. I don't know how that would help us too much in terms of energy drive, because it would only do the that would only be like a last second game plan type deal that we would do. We could Ranger here, actually. Ranger's really good. Oh yeah, it is really good in the ADP matchup. So we are going to just plop that right there. I'm trying to think about what we want to do. Again, I don't want to Lele, but maybe they field blower us. I don't know. Maybe they end up field blowing us. But the thing is, now if this gets knocked out, that's the end of that. So we're just gonna attach this to our boater, and then I think we're just going to max Phantasm. Maybe we go ahead with no, acid spray doesn't really work unless we find the band, but how do I want to spread this damage? 1, 2, 3. That would be 170. So probably just want to go 3 over here. Try to get these a little more even, I guess. So this is one of the drawbacks with the edit that I made in terms of the whatchamacallit, the taking out the draw supporters. We get into a situation like this where maybe if we had 4 sycamores, we would have been able to take a knockout there and draw more cards. But you know what? Here we are. We can definitely Guzma right here and knock out with the Oricorio. That's a big meme. That's very interesting in my personal opinion. And there's the Sycamore right there. It was the very, very next card. Wow, funny how that works. But we're just going to go right here. We're going to go right here. We're going to bring up Oricorio. We're going to attach to it. And then we will go ahead and Revelation Dance. Draw 3 cards. Now our win con is essentially go get this guy up here, which I'm not 100% sure how that's going to work unless we get like a Versus Seeker and float stone it up. Oh, he's going to have this guy right up here. He must have a float stone in his hand or something. Maybe not. Looking for a Versus Seeker now. Versus Seeker essentially just wins the game for them. N is a good card because that puts me down to 3 if they try to use that, and they will. And we do have a field blower in our own list, so like honestly we could field blower our own floatstone, and it looks like we got this Versus Seeker right here, so it may end up working to our favor. I don't know how many items they have. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13. That's 260, 280 right there. So if we do find the Trashalanche, we win. If we do find Trashalanche, we win. So we're just going to attach right here. We are going to Versus Seeker and grab the Sycamore because we want to draw through as many cards as possible, because this is probably going to be like the last turn of the game almost. Go ahead and do that. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, well, there's the mysterious treasure, actually. So, okay, we need to think about this in a good manner, just in case my math is off. I think we win at this point. I'm not 100% sure, but I think we do. Just in case, we're going to Enhance Hammer this right here. We are going to go ahead and retreat. And then go ahead, Trashalanche. It does take a knockout. Okay, math is not my strongest suit, so I always got to be careful with the math. So, especially when it comes to expanded, and I'm not super used to expanded. So, what started off as a little bit bad, you know, attacking with that Oricorio, you know, the Oricorio actually came out to be super clutch because we remember that Ranger was a card, which is why I feel like a lot of decks right now, especially if you're playing those support cards like Dedenne and well, even if you're just a single one prizer deck, you know, you may just want to try to do Ranger anyways, because ADP is a prevalent card. You know, I've seen ADP in Turbo Dark before the pandemic happened, which was wild. And then there's ADP Blacephalon GX. There's that ADP Zacian that we just faced. So there's so many different ADP variants, especially because it has that double dragon energy. It has that flexibility. And we're going to go first, which is really nice, in my opinion. We do have turn 1 attachment. Going to try to avoid attaching the muscle band first. But we may, I actually do maybe want to do the, maybe I do want to get rid of the muscle band so that I can draw cards. Because especially if this is Zacian ADP, we just saw the value of Garbodor. I think I want to keep it. So I think I'm going to try to go for a Crobat here. Because we're not going to use a supporter turn 1. So like I don't really want to Lele again. I think these two cards are pretty valuable overall. So we're going to attach this up here. We'll Crobat for 4. Let's see how this goes. Another Lele right there. And we definitely need a Trubbish. So I think we do that through... I think we go ahead and do that through the Mysterious Treasure. We can get rid of one of the Leles. And that kind of shows him like, oh man, this guy has some support in his hand. And we do have some support in our hand. But I think we'll be okay, especially if, again, this is ADP. So very, very interesting. But this is a fun deck to play. I think that Lele is just like a super fun card. And then Dragapult, especially with its damage spread. If you've been following the channel for a long time, or, you know, you've been watching our Twitch streams for a long time, you know that I've always thought that Dragapult was really fun. I've just not been super great at Dragapult overall. So here comes the end again. There's that supporter going away. So kind of hurt ourselves a little bit, but especially, I mean, Enhance Hammer, there's 3 of these cards in the deck. So Enhance Hammer is good, and we have pretty good support anyways, I feel like, in this hand. All right, here we go. So it is an ADP deck. That's good. Please play the Double Dragon Energy at this point. You can't play Guzma Hala this turn. You do get the switch, though, so it's looking like they are going to be able to possibly get that Altered Creation this turn. If they can't get it this turn, that would be insane. But they do have cards like Dedenne, Shaman right here, which is why that this Trubbish, if it becomes a Garbotoxin Garbodor, shutting off all abilities, could be really strong. But you want to make sure that you do that once you're set up as well, because like if I just go ahead and evolve, I can't use Dedenne. Dedenne's a dead card in my hand. So very, very interesting. Ooh, looks like they are going to Intrepid Sword. So we really want to go ahead and try to get a knockout or something right here. And there's Ranger. That's really good because that's going to go in the discard pile. I'm going to go ahead and Mysterious Treasure the Enhanced Hammer. Go get this guy right now. Actually, no. I'm going to go get Dragapult. Yeah, because we're not worried about Trashalanche yet, because they've only played 1, 2, 3 items. So I think it's better to just get the Dragapult. I will go ahead and Sycamore. I don't want to Dedenne this turn. Mostly because I don't like putting these like little guys on the field. But maybe with Ranger, it'll be a little bit easier. So, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and go for it with the Dedenne. I'm not sure if that's the correct play, but we do have an energy right here. Super, super awesome. And we could Guzma. Guzma would be really interesting. Take 2 prizes right away. Well, actually not take 2 prizes right away on Shaman because we have no way to retreat any of these other Pokemon. So I think it's best to just hit ADP, especially with this Muscle Band. Maybe go ahead and do an N, actually, now that I think about it. Maybe we do go ahead and do an N. I am going to Quick Ball, though. I am going to get another Trubbish. I just like Trubbish. I think it's a cool card. I think it's a good card, especially for this matchup. And we're going to go ahead and end. It is 6 cards going away right here. And we do have the opportunity to stop their abilities overall. And I think I'm going to take that, especially because our board is pretty much good where it is. Now, we have no draw support right here. So this will be a little interesting. I don't want to use Field Blower until they commit like another item or something like that. Or maybe I want to get rid of my own Float Stone. So I think I am going to go aggressive because I know this deck's like draw support potential. So I'm going to attach this right here and we're just going to go into Max Phantasm. And honestly, put the damage counters here. I think we just need to put them all here. Because, like, if we draw into an energy, we could just Guzma and kill this Shaman. Like, that's not that big of a deal. But now this deck is inherently hurting because of this guy right here. So maybe I was a little bit too aggressive with the Trubbish. in all honesty, but hindsight's 20/20 to know that you're off the end. You're going to draw in a position to where you're not really going to have any draw support after you've benched this Trubbish. So maybe that's just something that I need to be more wary of in the future. Now, if this Zacian does come up, that'll be a little bit interesting in my opinion, because and hits us because we are not going to be able to knock this out next turn unless we find like a Garboter, which I mean, I think I'll commit the Field Blower. There's a Clefairy for maybe the mirror match actually, to use like Ultimate Ray or Max Phantasm or something like that. This could be a little bit of an issue for us, so not sure what I want to do. They are going to be able to Lele. Lele wouldn't work actually, so they won't be able to Lele. I mean, they could put it down. I mean, I won't blame them if they put it down. But Scoop Up Net coming down on this Shaman. No ability. You know, the Garboter does a really good job here. So very, very interesting situation we got going on. Ooh, this is a good card to get right now. I almost just want to thin at this point. I kind of want to go for the Trashalanche, but I also just want to go for... There's no way that we can KO with the Jet Assault type thing, so I think maybe we just... that seems so risky. Especially because we don't have an energy right here. And they're just gonna Scoop, actually. Okay. I mean, I don't know actually what I would have done in that situation, but... I mean, they Scoop. We have the opportunity to either hit into it. We could have Field Blowered as well, just gotten rid of that one Float Stone on the Zacian to make it a lot harder, and so then our Garboter would have still been there, and then they would have had to like manually switch and try to, I don't know, stall out a little bit, which we could have then Guzma'd. So I think maybe using the Field Blower for the one Float Stone would have been the correct play in hindsight, now that this is over and I'm thinking a little bit more clearly. Again, it's experience with the matchups. But before we get into the third and final game, I want to give you guys a code real quick, because as I've been mentioning in the last couple of videos, I want to try to give you all more codes for watching this far in the video specifically. Sometimes it may be in the beginning, sometimes it may be in the end. So get your screenshots ready, and you know what, if you like what you see, make sure to like, comment, subscribe as well. I post videos 3 times a week. There's a Burning Shadows Elite Trainer box, so if you don't have one of those, you know, go ahead and redeem it. It's a cool, I really like the Elite Trainer box sleeves and deck box. I use it a lot on my own stuff on stream, so could be very interesting. But let's just queue up into one final game here today and see if we can get 3 wins out of this, because the deck has been playing really well. I'm not gonna lie, deck has been doing really well, pretty strong. Now this could be interesting if this is a Turbo Dark build, because if you don't know, like I mentioned earlier, Dark Pokemon, we struggle a lot with Dark Pokemon. So we're gonna be able to get a Dragapult out, which is super nice, and then we'll be able to shred. But this is not looking good, Chief. Not looking super great. I think I'm gonna get rid of one of our Float Stones actually, and go grab a... One could argue going with another Trubbish, so then we could use Trashalanche in this matchup, but I think Dragapult is something that we need to get overall. So let's go ahead and grab this Dragapult right here. Let's just put it down and let's just pass. We'll see how this goes. I don't think they're going to be taking a knockout turn 1. They could. There's a lot of different Pokemon that could do that, especially with the new Hoopa. You know, it just takes 1 energy to go get it. A Spirit 2, maybe, if they do some other shenanigans with it. I don't know what kind of build this is. It's the Weavile version. I'd be interested to see if Eternatus is in this build of the Turbo Dark, because I know that some people have been playing around with that. I've seen some lists fly around on Twitter that we may cover in a future week, and especially with something like Max Elixir and Dark Patch, like they can just get energy so fast. So this Trebuchet could be a dunzo. So maybe it was good to get the Trebuchet. I'm not 100% sure. We'll see if they have any draw support to go along with this as well. And they're just going to go ahead and ambush 30 damage right there, which is perfectly fine. I think we attach right here. We float stone. Attach the muscle band. We can evolve this into Dragapult right here. And then I think I'm going to go ahead. Energy Drive doesn't really work because, especially Greninja Zoroark and Turbo Dark. No, and right now we're only doing 60 damage to it because of this resistance right here. So, woo, this is a weird hand. We are definitely going to have to either Colress or N after this turn is over. So we can get rid of an energy right here. Is there anything that's really going to help us? I don't think so, because I think they're going to switch the Sneasel into the next Pokemon, and I really don't want to get rid of all of these energies with Dragapult because we have no energy recovery. So maybe I should have just waited a turn. I'm thinking that the best option is going to be to go for Trebuchet here. So we're just going to put Trebuchet down. We are going to retreat, and we are going to shred 60 damage. Now, sadly, though, Shred says any effects on your opponent's active Pokemon. It doesn't say weakness or resistance, or else we would have gotten a knockout right there. So, shucks. It's just how it's going to go in this matchup. And 1, 2, or just 2 right here. We'll see if they have any other draw support, and they don't. But that's 180 damage. That is a ton of damage for this. And, oh my goodness, an N right here. I really don't want to N. I think I would rather Colress rather than N at this point, but I'm going to try to go right here. We're going to try to go into like a, I don't even think Trashalanche is good. They've only used 3 items. We don't really have a good attacker per se. So let's go into the Lele. Let's see what we can grab. We could Guzma and go ahead and Acid Spray and force them to KO. That might be the play right here. So then we can take a prize and maybe get something going for us? I don't know. And then that puts them one step kind of behind a little bit, but that leaves this Greninja Zoroark without any damage on it, which I'm not a huge fan of, to be honest. But I think we could take Guzma. We could take Guzma and slowly just try to build up this Lele to do a little bit of chip damage, I guess. So we're just gonna Guzma this up, and we'll bring up this guy right here, and we'll see. Boom. Oh, it was 0. I just realized. So again, the resistance, something you gotta worry about. They did draw an energy right here, so they're gonna switch, and now we're once again in this position to where, what the heck am I doing right now? I am screwing this up. Oh boy, maybe we could have honestly like attached it. Well, no, that's still 20, so that wouldn't have worked. I guess we're just gonna go right here, and man, this does not feel good. We're gonna lose this Dragapult right here. We have to end. We have to get something going. We do have Garbodor right here, which there's already an item on this, so Dedenne wouldn't help me at all. I mean, Dedenne would help me a little bit. I think I'm going to Dedenne, because I think we're going to get our value out of Dragapult. I don't think I need to use it anymore. And, we'll attach this to this guy right here. Crobat is prized. They're not playing the, what am I trying to, I don't know what I'm trying to say at this point. Man, that resistance sucks. Oh, boy. I wonder how you beat the Turbo Dark matchup, in all honesty. So we're going to go get Wob right here. I don't even think I'm going to put down Wob, in all honesty, but I'm going to go into Max Phantasm. I'm going to at least knock out this Sneasel right here. It's been sitting there way too long, and they're going to take 3 prizes, but I don't know if there's really much that we can do outside of this at this point. We could end them next turn. especially because they'll take a knockout, and we can hope for the Trashalanche, but yeah, I don't know. A little bit tricky. There's that right there. So we could actually get the Trashalanche. Not gonna lie. And we could take a knockout right here, but at what cost is it? At what cost is a Trashalanche? And it doesn't matter because we are gonna get End and whew. Yeah, I don't know if N was the correct decision there, but it was a decision I feel like we had to make. We've made some misplays, not gonna lie. We've made some misplays in this game. But man, Dark Patch is so good in this deck. It is so aggressive to be able to use with the Greninja and Zoroark. I mean, we already know how aggressive and kind of terrorizing the one card is, the Metal Saucer in Standard, and how it makes Zacian ADP so good and so crazy, and even like Luke Metal, just insane. So there's that. How many items have they used? 2, 3, that's 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so that's one. Okay, so that does take a knockout, so that's good news, but I don't know how much good news that is. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're gonna go for a Lele. So we're gonna go Mysterious Treasure. We're gonna go right here, yeah, because they don't have anything on the field for the Field Blower. We're gonna grab this Garbodor. So we're gonna evolve this guy right here, so then he can at least attack. We are going to Mysterious Treasure right here. We have no more Lele's left, so Lele is just not the greatest of things. So we just got to thin now at this point. We'll go Garbotoxin. So then they can't do much, although they will attack us. And then we'll retreat into this guy and go ahead and Trashalanche for a knockout. The other Lele's in there. We got rid of it early. I only played 2 Lele's, but hopefully the prizes can get us something going. Like, I don't know, Versus Seeker, Crobats. Oh, well, Crobat doesn't help us, actually. Crobat doesn't help at all. Oh boy, we've put ourselves in a bad position. Maybe I shouldn't have gone for this Garbodor. I don't know, especially because they're going to take a knockout here. I mean, I imagine they have an energy attachment, but man, we've thrown this game so hard. If there's a game 3 that we shouldn't have put in this video, it is this one right here. But that's the thing about Expanded. There's so many things that are going on, and there's so many different options that you need to be on top of your game in a format like this. So if you're not on the top of your game, man, I don't know what to tell you. I do not know what to tell you. I'd be interested to see what Fighting Fury Belt would do in this format, but I don't even think it would matter too much, to be honest. An N there, so their hand must have been super dead if they're playing N. They had like 8 cards going down all the way to 2. But I guess their thought process is like, okay, put me down to 2 as well. So this is interesting. They are doing 150 base damage right there. And they're going to draw a prize. So hopefully the prize doesn't do anything. We're going to have to put Lele up. We are going to have to put Lele up because they got 1 prize left. We're just going to have to retreat into here. Thin out a little bit. Put this Wob down. And I don't know. Grab something. Grab a Trubbish, maybe? Maybe they can play, like, more items later. But we have this Floatstone right here to be able to retreat into, like, Dedenne, assuming that they don't attach another energy and just knock us out completely. But anyways, this has been a very fun video. Thank you all for watching this video. I'm not going to end before the game's over, but I have a bad feeling about this game. Anyways. Especially because they have a Hypnotic Laser. Of course, they always have Hypnotic Laser. Ooh, no sleep, though. Okay, so we're going to be at 160, so we get another turn. Top deck Sycamore 1 time. Top deck N 1 time. All you got to do is wish it, chat. All you got to do is wish it. How many items have they used, though? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11... So that's 11, so that's not enough damage yet. So I think we're going to go down to Dedenne. Hope they just don't have something going on. We should have gone into well, they knock out Garbodor, so we have to try to bait them to use another item. We have to try to bait them into using more items. But here is this, and we just go ahead and pass, and we have another Sycamore here. We have no more float stones though, so we have the the Versus Seeker for the Guzma, so that's really nice. We just like Trash Lanch into Shaman, but there's that Dark Patch right there. It'll be a good game. Kind of played myself a little bit, but we almost came back. Before I end this video, we actually got to see the deck list. I got to show it to you all. I almost forgot to do that. All right, so here's the deck list for you that you can use as well if you just want a visual of how it is. It is playing a 2-2 line of Dragapult. Sometimes I really wish I had more, but other times I just feel like it's fine. What's also really interesting is that sometimes I also wish that I had a rescue stretcher. So if there was one recommendation that I would want, because sometimes you just really need Trash Lanch, or maybe like you threw away Dedenne earlier, you want it back to be able to use, or like Crobat, or even Lele, like we saw in that last game, how Lele, we wanted it but we couldn't get it. So maybe if I had a recommendation, go back down to 8 like the original lists do, and then play one of a rescue stretcher. That might be a good call. The link in the description below is not going to show a rescue. Well, I guess I could put it in with there. So yeah, the link in the description below is going to show a rescue stretcher. I just think it's a good card to be able to have a little bit of flexibility. And if you've lost a couple different Pokemon, you could just shuffle them back into your deck. So it could help you in a lot of different situations. So I did really like this deck. This is a deck that I would play a lot if I did a lot of Expanded. I'm going to try to do Expanded a little more often. I don't know how often. Probably now that the Players Cup is kind of ending and concluding, maybe like I'll try to do an Expanded video once a week. It's a little bit harder for me to do Expanded videos because, again, like I mentioned, you know, Expanded is not my forte like Standard is. But I also want to do a lot of stuff with theme decks. Because I actually had some comments recently in videos of like, can you do profiles of theme decks? So I'm like, you know what, that's not a bad idea right now, because there is an influx of players in the game because of all these celebrities opening up cards. And you know what, some people read the card and they're like, oh, this card does XYZ. I wonder how good that is. And then they find out that PTCGO Online is free and that they can use their codes to open up more packs, and then they queue up in games. So it'll be really interesting. Hopefully you enjoy it as well. And thank you so much for watching Atrocious Gameplay. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of the day. Remember, we're not very good at video games, but we have a fun time doing it. Sorry for screwing up the end of this video and that last game as well. But you know what? It happens. It happens. No player plays perfect every single game. But have a great rest of the day. Wear a mask. Hand sanitize. Go vote. Wash your hands. Brush your teeth. Put on deodorant. And get 8 hours of sleep every single night. Have a great rest of the day.